the key to living the law of attraction. Some good little quotes and all like that. I like reading. No, it's just grab one anyway. Constant repetition carries conviction.
That anything can be achieved, and it can be achieved like that. You know what I mean? If you put the head down, if you work and you believe in yourself, and you speak with confidence, and whatever you want to do, you speak it loud with no fear, and no matter what people say, it happens. So that's something that I can take with me, and that being able to do that actually inspires and motivates me right back. So
I can be a product of my environment, you know what I mean? If I'm in with the wrong crowd, I just kind of become wherever, you know what I mean? So that's why I like to be isolated, and that's why this has helped me coming out here and being locked in an apartment on my own, building back up my leg, going from rehab to home to rehab to home, because there was no outsiders. It was isolation, it was visualization, it was motivation, and it was dedication. There was nothing else going on in my life, you know what I mean? It needs to be like that. It needs to be no outsiders. It needs to be, you need to have your team and your focus, and that's it. I don't need friends that aren't involved in this game, or that aren't on the same path, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense.
I felt when we stared down, I felt his right hand was twitching, which was a subtle tell for me. He is ready to unload that right hand, and I feel that could be a downfall for him. If he lets that right hand go, I will not be there. I simply enter the way I enter, and that is enough. They either overextend or they shrink away, but either way it is not good for them. I will create traps and dead space inside that octagon, and I will walk him into that dead space, but all of a sudden he will be in danger. How do you do that? How do you predict this?
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots, I see these sequences, and I don't shy away from them. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality. I knew he would overextend, and I knew I'd catch him. So Mystic Mac strikes again.
Just through years in the gym, through wins, through losses, through life, I just realised that if you say it to yourself and you look yourself in the eye and look yourself in the mirror and truly believe that not a man alive can beat you, then that is the way it is. And just through hours in the gym and preparation, I feel that I am untouchable right now. It's about going from here to here to here to here, and that's where I'm going. It's round in circles up, so it will continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger until I am finished.
Just like use my imagination, like a kid would use his imagination. I was basically just using my imagination, driving a little my girlfriend's car, a little Peugeot 206, and I was driving that, shaking down the road, and I visualised that, and I swear to God, sitting in the traffic and all, I visualised, I'm sitting here holding the steering wheel, visualising a brand new car, and visualising good things in times of struggle, and that when you can do that, I think that really makes that law of attraction work. I think it really attracts to you more, you know what I mean? Because that is harder to do when you're in the struggle to visualise these things. And I'm climbing the money tree. I'm climbing the money tree like a chimpanzee. Again, I just listen to the people that are close to me, listen to my family, listen to my friends, listen to my team, and then that's it. Nobody else exists. Absolutely nobody else exists. I'm just tunnel vision on this path, and anyone that tries to come in and steer me away from it, I don't know what it is, but they just go then, you know. I just end up getting rid of them or something. You know?
Gratitude is one of the most strongest forms of power in attracting good things. You know, if you truly feel grateful for the things in your life, I always felt grateful for even the small things. I always used to celebrate the small things. Now I might be celebrating the bigger things, but I always celebrate every little good thing that would happen to me in my life, even before I had any kind of money or any of that. I would celebrate and I would feel grateful for it, and it just gave me more. And this is exactly the same thing that's happening right now. I still remain grateful, and more comes.
And just appreciating the surroundings. I think it's important that you put a conscious effort into appreciating your surroundings, you know what I mean? That's what I do with this place. I absolutely love this city. And even, you know what, I was thinking a lot about Norman Park yesterday after that thing happened, where he was saying about Northern Ireland, and it's a disgrace, and it's this and it's that. It's a negative thing towards your home nation or whatever, you know, but that's not the right way to be. You need to have you need to appreciate your surroundings and be grateful for it, and that's when good things happen, you know what I mean? But to have that bitterness and that negativity, then things start going bad, you know what I mean? So I think the fact that I have them thoughts and the fact that I appreciate everything and I'm grateful for the things around me and the way things are going, that's why it's going so good for me.
I don't work. I love what I do, and that's why I'm doing what I love. You know what I mean? That's why it's become a career for me, because I love it. I love what I do. So I don't think it's unhealthy. I feel good in my mind. You know what I mean? It's my life. I don't do nothing any different. I still come to the gym. There's people trying to get me to do something and to do that. But I know that in order to be successful at this game, it needs to be 24/7. I need to be living in this gym. And since this new facility, SBG Concord, has opened up, the setup now is I come here at 1, 2 o'clock in the day and I'm here till 10 o'clock at night. There's no outside distraction, there's no nothing. It's been crazy. The spotlight is on, the Irish public are watching, but it's what we planned, it's what we prepared. I knew I was going to be the person to bring martial arts to the public eye. And now it's happening. You know what I mean? There's two things I've learned from these past 7 months. Number one is that hard work pays off. And number two is that dreams come true.
It's human nature. Some people will sit and take positivity from that. They will look at that and take inspiration and inspire. It will inspire them to go and push for that. Others will shell up and critique it and be negative towards it. But one thing is for sure, those people will stay where they are. The people who take inspiration from it will rise up and also one day experience that life. So this is human nature. Some go one way, some go the other.
I was thinking sooner than that. Well, I wonder will they think that when I go in and put on a show now in 5 weeks and make a name for myself, you know what I mean? I'm hoping to drag them back to Ireland, you know what I mean? Drag them by the scruff of the neck back and get a show on.
I think they may erect a statue in your honor right now because of this talk. And if you get them to come back sooner than 18 months, you're going to be an Irish legend, my friend. Here we are, 17 months later.
17 months, wow.
And we're standing right in front of the arena that you said.
Did I give a number now?
Well, here's the interesting thing. On that same show, on that episode, the MMA Hour, Gary Cook said it would be 18 months.
All right.
You did it in 17.
Wow, that's phenomenal. I remember that episode very, very well. You know, that was the first time I ever spoke. That's phenomenal. That is right there, yeah.
And now here we are, in front of that arena.
You know, if you have a clear picture in your head of something is going to happen, and a clear belief in that it will happen no matter what, then nothing can stop it. You know what I mean? It is destined to happen, and that's what happens. You know what I mean? It's perfect.
Make no mistake, I'm setting up to be the greatest of all time. I am working towards it, and I will go down as the greatest of all time.
I have nothing but respect for these competitors. Make no mistake, I am cocky in prediction. I am confident in preparation, but I am always humble in victory or defeat. So I am humble here, and I am grateful for the opportunity that the UFC, Dana and Lorenzo, Uncle Frank.
And then it's an addiction. Then it took over. Then everything else blacked out around it. You know what I mean? And now there's nothing else that matters to me. I don't know about nothing else. I can't, like I said, I was talking at that press conference, I can't even I don't really watch films or TV or I watch videos of training. I watch videos of jiu-jitsu, I watch videos of wrestling, I watch videos of kickboxing or taekwondo. You know, that's what I watch when I'm resting.
Could you ever have envisioned what you're going through today?
I had to envision it, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. So not only did I envision it so much, so clearly and so precisely in my head, that I'm here now. So I envision it. That anything can be achieved, and it can be achieved like that. You know what I mean? If you put the head down, if you work and you believe in yourself, and you speak with confidence, and whatever you want to do, you speak it out with no fear, and no matter what people say, it happens. So that's something that I can take with me, and then that being able to do that actually inspires and motivates me right back. So.
Do you ever have, let's call it a normal job, Conor, a 9 to 5?
Yeah, because the Irish thing is to get into a trade straight away. I was no different. As soon as I finished school, I was always getting pestered. What are you doing with your life? You're doing this, doing that. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know what MMA was. They didn't know what none of this. They didn't know I could make a career out of it. As far as they were concerned, my man and dad I'm talking about, as far as they were concerned, I was just getting into a cage and fighting with some other guy. They didn't know nothing about it. No one did, really. But I knew, you know what I mean? I knew. But and then I ended up getting a trade just to keep them quiet. Because I used to have a lot of fights with my dad.
What trade did you get?
I ended up getting a trade as a plumber. Literally up in the back arse of nowhere, up in Wicklow, the Wicklow Mountains. And funny enough, that site was one of the biggest sites in Europe. Kilternan. It was right at that skiing place. Huge. And now it's just abandoned. Now it's just deserted. So I used to go up there 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I was on that M50. I used to have to walk to the N4. About half an hour from my house, wait for some Limerick guy that I didn't even know. He'd drive on the M4 and I'd have to flag him down. Nightmare, yeah. 2 hours down on the M50, 2 hours back. Literally 14-hour days, and I was the first year, so I had to go and do everything. I had to go to the shop. I had to go and get this and get that. So I always had trouble with that, and I was like, this isn't for me. This is not for me.
How long did you last?
I lasted 18 months doing it, but it was tough, you know what I mean? It wasn't the life for me, you know what I mean? And then John said, because I was training with John as well at the time, and then John got in touch and says, I have a show, I'm running a show, I'd like to fight on it. And then that was it. I just packed it in, didn't show up. My dad used to come in and punch the head on me and like try and drag me out of bed. And I just wouldn't go, you know what I mean? I had an uproar for a good few years with him over it. And that was it, I just packed it in, quit, and then focused on training. And I knew what was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna get here. They didn't. It was a lot of stressful years, you know what I mean? A lot of tough times. But I proved them wrong. I proved myself right.
I was working in the plumbing business at the time, yeah, but I'm trying to think. It would have been around that time that John, I had left the plumbing business. I left the plumbing business.
How bad was that?
The plumbing?
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Were you actually in the trenches?
I mean, it was an industrial.
Ooh.
So it'd be like building this. It'd be like the plumbing that would be needed in a place like this. 6 o'clock in the morning, and the motorway. And I used to have to walk for about an hour to get to the motorway, and then I'd stand on the edge of the motorway and wait for a bloke to drive by. So he'd give me a lift, and then the motorway was like getting renovation at the time, so it'd take me 2.5 hours to get to the place. It was out in the country. Then I'd be there for 10 hours walking, and I was a first year, so I was the worst of the worst, you know what I mean? It was only beginning. Then 2 hours to get back in the traffic again. It was just a horrible, horrible time, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this, and then I just left, and then I just stopped going, didn't get out of bed. Then my dad would come in and try and bait me out of bed, and we'd have fights, and literally for a good while I didn't really speak to my dad. We just kind of stayed away from each other. Anytime I come across my dad, anytime we did speak was to fight.
You lived in his house?
Yeah, I was only 18, 17, 18.
But you didn't talk to him? Isn't that kind of awkward?
Yeah, well, not like it wasn't, whatever, you know.
You didn't have just a deep relationship?
But since this has happened,
right.
Since the dream has happened, since the vision that I had has come true, and like he went through a tough time as well because he got testicular cancer.
Oh.
So he got sick and all over it. And in my head I was thinking maybe I done that because he's worried about me and doesn't know what I'm going to do, and all these fights that we're having all the time, and like I'm talking full on fights. You come in and punch it. We're going at it. Yeah, we're going at it.
You're punching back?
Well, yeah, we're going at it, yeah.
Wow. What does your mom say about that, who's so protective of you?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. She just stayed out, you know, but since...
Why did it get to that point, to where he was that mad?
Because I was doing absolutely nothing. I was out getting into trouble. Yeah, it basically felt like I was doing fuck all. I was a waster, you know. I was a waster. Got that, called that a lot, you know what I mean? But now, like, and then when I start getting that focus and realize, no, I'm gonna make this happen. And then now that has happened, I'm making it happen. I have a great relationship with my dad. Like, we talk all the time, and I even see energy in him, and I see energy in my man. It's depressing times for a lot of people in Ireland. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the country. A lot of people are struggling. Everybody's struggling. But now since them seeing me chase this dream, it's given them an energy, and I see a new lease of life in them. And that alone spurs me on even more. So it's all just a perfect storm that is happening for me. And that is why I have this tunnel vision, and that is why I'm willing to kill every single man in my path to get that belt, you know what I mean? To secure the future, from my family's future, you know what I mean? That's what I'm doing it for.